Hi. So I administered my ages and stages questionnaire to a 36-month-old male, and this child in particular was actually recently diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, the nonverbal type, and he also has two, well, colloquially they're known as lazy eyes, but the technical term is amblyopia. So he has both eyes have that, and they actually switch off. So that actually reflected in his ASQ results. His gross motor skills were great. You know, he can surely climb and kick a ball and run and jump, but he has issues with fine motor skills because his vision's occluded, and also because it seems that's tied in with autistic tendencies. So basically understanding this child's development and seeing the results from the ASQ allowed me to better understand the needs that child has. So in social work, I think it's important to understand that every child that we interact with is going to have different needs. They're going to have different ways that are effective as far as working with them. And it's important to test to see what those needs are, and then to see where they might have deficiencies so that we can work around that. And not only that, so that those deficiencies can be addressed. For example, he is in ABA therapy for his autism spectrum disorder, and he is in speech therapy because he tends to be nonverbal. And it's great just because he's already made great strides in his speech therapy. He used to basically not talk at all, and now he does talk. But the thing is he talks very quickly, and his syllables aren't all that clear. So that's something that he's going to have to continue to work on in speech therapy. As far as whether the ASQ is a tool that is good to use with the population in the Southwest, I think so, just because I don't think that the ASQ is culturally specific at all. These are general questions. You know, all children of any culture should be able to kick a ball or climb stairs or something like that. You know, all children should be able to use fine motor skills for something, whether that's drawing or tracing or putting strings on a thread. That's why I think that the ASQ is good, not only for populations in the Southwest, but basically for all American populations at least. And I'm sure that it can be applied outside of America as well, because like I said, these aren't really culturally specific questions or markers that we're looking for. Basically, as far as what I learned from the experience, I learned a lot actually, most importantly, just because the child that I worked with has autism spectrum disorder. So I did a ton of research on that. I learned that fine motor skills are intertwined with problems that seem to present with autistic children, which is something that I didn't know before. So I'm glad that I learned that. And then I just really enjoyed being able to dissect development. You know, before we might have thought of development as just kind of this general idea. And now we know that there are certain markers in development and that there are certain thresholds that different ages need to meet. And then I also just learned about how important it is to do things like this so that if there are deficiencies, we can recognize them early, and then we can get the child in programs that are going to help them get up to speed. So, yeah, it was a really fun project.